Thank you for your time. I'm financial specialist Jonathan Curl. And for those of you who have just finished watching my presentation, my lesson plan on how to plan for college and high school, what they don't tell you, this is part 2. And I thank you for your time to continue to watch until the completion of this full lesson, which is very, very dear to my heart, this particular lesson and subject matter. So what we want to do to wrap this up now is we want to have a very real conversation with you about expectations, what to expect in life. The image that you see on the screen, which is courtesy of Mr. Andre Hunter. His link is in the description for those of you who would like to learn more about his artistry. So I'm going to leave this image up on the screen for the entire time of this particular lesson, part 2. I want you to really, I want all of the students that are watching, I want you to take a good look at this facial expression, because as you advance through life, if you don't make the right decisions, and what I'm sharing with you today, or in the entirety of this lesson, this could be you. And unfortunately, this ends up being a lot of people. This is their face, not necessarily their external face, but their internal face, meaning the face of their heart, the face of their mind, because they have regrets. And many of these regrets are stemming from the fact that nobody told them or had a real straight conversation with them about what to expect in life. Yes, this is an exciting time in your life, and I'm not taking anything away from that. What I'm saying in this lesson, the point that I want to get across is the balance. And the balance of it is no one, in my experience, from my personal experience and in my observation of others, no one sat down with with myself or any of my peers or any of their peers that I know of and had a conversation with them at that moment in life, at that very critical point in life that you are at now, to have a conversation with them about what to expect in life, what to expect in a very real way. Now, the reason for this discussion is so that you know how to make the right decision according to your major. So if this is the path that you have chosen to further or to advance yourself with, you need to know all the facts so that you can make the most intelligent decision that is most suitable for you. Oftentimes what happens is we don't, because we're not properly taught and told what to expect in life, we don't always make the right decision, or we don't include all of the factors into our decision-making process that we actually need to include in our decision-making process. So let's jump right on in to this. Notice on this particular graphic, we have the title, "Why Didn't They Tell Me?" I wish someone had told me. Had I known, I would have done differently. Again, look at this face. What this is about is this. Oftentimes you will make a decision that is void of all the facts. And had you known something, you would not have made that decision. And the people that are right around you who know this thing, whatever this thing might be, who had knowledge of this particular subject matter, should have told you, but they didn't tell you. And because they didn't tell you, you didn't make the right decision, or you didn't make a decision that was complete. Here's what to expect in life. Some of you who are leaders and influencers in high school and have very good forecasts, Some of you will maintain that, and some of you won't. Some of you will experience calamities in your life of various sorts for a season, for a period of time, which could potentially take decades off of your life or take decades from your life. Some of you will have long-term suffering for your entire life. Some of you will live glorious lives, and some of you won't. I want to have this conversation with you so that you can be prepared for whatever door opens for you that ends up being the course of your life. I'm not saying that money is everything, because it's not. However, it is a resource that you need to have that will help make things better. Now, money, what money does for you, it allows you to be more of whoever you are. If you're a really good person, money will allow you to be more of a really good person. If you are a bad person, money will allow you to be more of a bad person. The point that I'm getting at, and what I want to, again, get across today, is I want you to make the right decision now that's inclusive of all the facts, so that whatever comes down your path, you will be prepared for it, because you're going to need financial resources to help you to get through whatever it is you may need to get through. Some of you will have health challenges. Life is going well, and then you are stricken with a health crisis. Some of you, it's going to be a party for the rest of your days. It will be, your life will be the party that never ends. And some of you, it won't. Some of you who are influencers, you will start out being an influencer, and then you will quickly become amongst the losers. And those of you who are in high school who are considered to be losers, who are considered to be squares, who are considered to be of those who are unpopular, you will become the popular one. You are last in high school, but after you finish your education, and sometimes it occurs while you are in college, you become the popular one. You don't know. But what we know, those of us who have gone down the road, what we know, what we can expect, is that the uncertain, or things that are uncertain, will occur. Change will occur. The unpredictable. These things happen. I was raised by my grandparents. My grandfather died when I was still in high school. So my grandmother and I took care of one another. And here my grandmother is now in her 80s at this point in time, and she's now responsible for a teenager in high school. No one never sat down and told me how to plan and prepare for the day of separation. For those of you that don't know what I mean by that, I mean the day when she dies. So I had grown accustomed to grandma being there. People die, but you're not planning for it. You're not necessarily moving in a way that is indicative of one that has knowledge of a particular fact. So because I didn't have knowledge of how to prepare for that day, that all of my movements throughout my life up until the time she died, it was as if she wasn't going to die. And grandma did die. So I had to deal with it at that point in time. And it was rough. I'm not gonna lie to anyone. It was hard. It's hard stuff. It's hard. And because of that, it caused me to make a lot of sacrificial or I had to sacrifice many things in my life. I'm not arguing about it whatsoever. I don't have no problem, with that. What I'm saying is, had somebody told me what to expect in life, then I would have made different decisions so that when the day came when grandma got sick, our health began to fail, I would have been in a better financial place than what I was at that point in time when it happened. And in my case, I suffered more than one calamity. And, I was one of the top students. But this is what happened to me. And in my observation of others, these things happen to many other people as well. So you want to have very real conversations with your parents, your grandparents, whoever your guardians are, very real conversations with your guidance counselors. And this is why it's very important for you to know how much money is in a particular major, like in that career path, in that discipline. How much can it afford to pay you? How much growth is involved in it? And I want you also to take time to learn about leveraging, just in general, how to leverage things. Because once you finish college and you get your degree, whether it be, your bachelor's, BS, BA, your master's, PhD, whatever the case might be, once you are finished that and you are now in the field, some of you will land very good jobs. Some of you, it'll be the job, it's the job of your dream. Others, it won't be. Others, it might be your dream job, but the people, your boss is very difficult to work with. And there's politics in the workplace. And you may be one of those people that you just have a disposition about yourself where you don't play games. You don't like politics, right? But you have to take it because you don't have any other course of action or resource that can take care of your needs. And this is what I'm saying. I want you to also study how to leverage. I'll be producing more videos on these financial concepts. But I want you to right now, I want you to understand and learn in general about leveraging, how to leverage things. Now, where am I going at with that? What I'm saying is you leverage your job, you leverage the income from your job so that you can produce other sources of income for yourself so that you can put yourself in a position where you can say no. And trust me, from firsthand experience, it is a good place to be when you can say no. And the reality of it is too, people treat you differently. I'm just being honest with you. Your boss may treat you differently and I'm saying, should you land a boss or land in a workplace where you don't have a not so well boss, a fair boss, if you will, a just boss, if you will. When people sometimes, and I'm just being honest with you, when people know that you need something, people like that, they tend to try to take advantage of you. But if you can afford to say no, and they know that you can afford to say no, well, now it's a different conversation. It's different. That's all I'm saying is it's different. And you want to put yourself in a position where you can afford to say no. But if you don't follow or include in your thought making or in your decision making process this lesson plan that I have shared with you, then you might not choose the right discipline or the right major for the right reasons. Look, let's just talk straight to each other here. I'm talking straight to you. Some of y'all are going to just choose a degree or major because it's easy for you to get. But it might not be. You could be choosing something that's not that lucrative. And then you'll end up having this face that you're looking at on the screen now. You don't want to do that. Some of you will start out very good. And then a calamity may strike your family. And you'll have to stop what you are doing to care for your family, to care for your mother, to care for your father, to care for your grandmother, to care for your grandfather, or in some cases, to care for both at the same time. Some of you, again, life is just, it's the never-ending party. You know, you'll have everything that you could ever imagine in your life and then some. And for others, you will have to fight for every penny that you get. And it won't matter how many degrees you have. It's just, that's just your life. That's just the way it is. And for some of you, it may be like that for a season. It won't be everlasting. It'll be for a period of time. And for some of you, it will be for your entire life. I'm just being real with you. So it's very important for you right now, this critical moment in your life, to choose a discipline, a major that has enough money in it that will give you the ability to leverage, to prepare for the future. Some of you, you're going to do, you may start off hard, like the first half of your life might just be hard, but then everything will open up. It'll be easy sailing until you expire. Some of you, your life will be just like a roller coaster. And your life may end up being a roller coaster because of circumstances beyond your control. Things that you did not do, but you're in the midst of it. It's happening to you. In others, you just surf right on through. Hey, you know, that's the way it is. You just don't know. But these are the things to expect in life. Some of you, your academic life will be flawless, but you will have problems in your personal life that will ultimately impact your academic life or your professional life. Some of you, you'll be single, you'll be doing good. You'll decide to get married, and either the marriage will either augment what you have, or it's going to tear you apart. Hey, it's just the way it is. You know, I'm just having a very real conversation with you on what to expect in life. This is life. Some of you will start off and you'll have, you know, all of your friends will be around you, and, you know, you rolling with your crew and y'all tight. Now, some of y'all will stay tight for the rest of your life or lives, and some of you won't. Some of you will experience the shock of the hour because you will think that either a particular individual or individuals that was tight with you all through school, that they really had your best interest at heart, and then you will find out that what's in their heart is evil for you. That the same people that you helped through school, that you helped through life, at some point, some of them will turn hypocrite on you. Some of you will get the same jobs and your same school buddy, right? Your schoolmate that you tight with, that you know, y'all eating pizza together, you know, staying up late nights, studying, cramming for these exams and whatnot. And you get on the job place and they will undercut you every time. Yes, this is real. I'm just sharing with you real life, what to expect. Some of you, you will get your degrees and you will have the hardest time just trying to find a job or keep a job for various reasons. So again, this is why it's very important for you to listen to this conversation, you know, study this document or this lesson, and look at this face right here that's on the screen. This face, you don't want this to be you, because this is the face of the heart and the mind that produces a lot of conflict and chaos. You want the happy face. You know, you don't want to have regret in your life, all because you had all of the capabilities and skill sets to do better, but because somebody didn't tell you something, you didn't make the best choices, or you didn't maximize the opportunities that was granted to you while you had or when you had them, because somebody didn't tell you something. Now, some of you, you barely made it to school, and opportunities just don't seem to come your way like that. For some of you, it will change after you graduate from high school, from college. And for some of you, it won't change. You're going to have to fight for everything, every penny that you get. It's going to be a fight. You're just going to have to fight for it. Opportunities will not come your way as in abundance as it does for others. So when an opportunity comes your way, you have to take it. And if that ends up being your life, what we are talking about right now is even more important to you. So you know how to maximize that opportunity, to do everything that you can to turn your situation around or just make it better for yourself. So again, I know this is somewhat of a rant, if you will, but if you listen carefully, they are jewels, golden jewels, in what I'm sharing with you in this particular lesson. In all my lessons, I like to believe that I am. But in this one, this is really a heart to heart, because this is a wonderful time in your life. You're at a point where possibilities are unlimited. But if you're not thinking right, and you don't know what to expect in life, then you might not make the right decisions, because after the party, there's an after party. And we don't know what the after party is. We don't know what door is going to open for you. There's an old Kemetic text that says, one plans for tomorrow, but you do not know what tomorrow may bring. So by having knowledge, you are able to do the best planning that you can for a future that is unknown. The purpose of knowledge is to serve its holder. That's why you have knowledge. Knowledge is designed to serve you. That is the purpose of knowledge, is to serve its holder. And oftentimes we are not able to get the best service because we don't have the right information. We don't have the right knowledge. And if you do have knowledge, now you have to act upon that knowledge. What I'm talking to you about today, in this entire lesson, in part 1 and part 2, in order for it to serve you, you have to act on it. You have to take action, and you cannot be afraid to take action on it. So have this conversation with your parents. Have this conversation with your guidance counselor, so you know what you're doing. Because should you live to the point that I'm speaking in reference to now, should you live long enough, the day of separation is coming. For some of you, it's going to happen sooner than later. I'm speaking in reference now to the death of those who are your guardians. Some of you is going to happen sooner in life. Some of you is going to happen later in life. We don't know, but should you live long enough, we know that this is going to happen. It is going to happen. So what state are you going to be in when this happens? This is a conversation that a lot of people don't like to have. A lot of people don't want to deal with it. I'm talking about the reality of life and death. They don't want to deal with it. But I'm sharing with you, don't be scared. Let's deal with it, so you know how to handle it. And it's cool. It's all right. Death is just as much a part of life as living itself. But do not be afraid to deal with the real issues at hand. Deal with it. Then you know how to put a period behind it, because you dealt with it. This face right here, a lot of times this face also comes from the fact that somebody didn't want to deal with something. So let's deal with it. And deal with it right now is the best time to deal with this subject matter. What to expect in life. Talk to your parents. Talk to your guidance counselors about this. What to expect. Have a very real conversation with them, and be honest with yourself as much awareness that you have about yourself right now, be honest with yourself and articulate that to your parents, to your guidance counselors. Again, so you know what the best course of action is for you, what is most suitable for you. In the finance world, FINRA has an overarching rule called the suitability rule. That's FINRA Rule 2111 that deals with suitability. And we're talking about what is suitable for the client. We always do what is suitable for the client, meaning what is in the best interest for the client. And what I'm sharing with you now is in your best interest to have this conversation about expectations. Talk to your parent, talk to your parents. Your parents, I'm sure there are some things that they may not have shared with you about their lives. And some of it could very well be the fact that they just didn't get around to it, or they want to shield you from something. And that's their right. So I'm just saying that you do need to have a straight conversation with them about expectations, what to expect in life. So I hope that that you have found some value, in this, and that you act on it. And as a brief recap from part one, talk to your parents about how much it costs to maintain your current standard of living, your current quality of life. What is that number? How much are all the bills, all the spending? What is that number? At the end of the month, what is that number? Multiply times 12. And then, use the tools that we talked about in part one and choose your major, and then do the math and see if the major that you are thinking about, if there's enough money in it to maintain your current standard of living. Of course, you have to adjust for inflation, but this gives you a reference point to work from. So again, let us not be this face. Let not our hearts and our mind be this face. Let our hearts and mind be the face of the sun. So again, I thank you for your time. And if you found value in what you learned today, like, subscribe, comment, and share our channel. Thank you again for your time. We are complete.